Gather around, get your cabbages, little Cabbage Patch Kids.
Come and get some. She's like that. So funny.
Do you ever get the Cabbage Patch Kids? What a strange toy for children.
I know it. They were like crazy popular.
Yeah.
Like the Elmos. The Tickle Me Elmos. Remember when that was like a thing? Like you couldn't get toys and now it's nothing?
I remember seeing videos of people on the news fighting for those Tickle Me Elmos.
Yeah.
It's weird. I mean, were they?
Weird.
I mean, they were cute.
People would do anything for their kids.
Yeah.
Include kill other adults for Tickle Me Elmo.
My child deserves this Elmo, and he will have it. We just need people foaming at the mouth for Sheepy. That's what we need to do.
I know.
We got to tap into it.
It's pretty much what people are doing with Pokemon cards now. I follow a lot of Pokemon card influencers.
Ooh.
And they like go to the stores, wait in line, and then everyone rushes and like shoves each other and stuff to get the Pokemon cards.
Oh my.
I'm like, I don't know if they're reselling them or... it's crazy.
I mean,
Pokemon still very in.
Yeah, I mean, in the 90s, oh God, I love getting myself a booster pack, or even better, the pack. Loved it. And when new ones would come out, or you'd be in one of those shops and you would see like the Japanese cards behind the counter that were like framed or whatever, and they were special. My stepdad, when he came to visit me, he bought us the booster pack of Japanese cards. I couldn't read them, of course, but I loved them.
Yeah.
They had like the special island ones, a lot of the second generation that, was being like teased or whatever. And just like, oh my God. I'm the first one that has it. Yeah, Chikorita. Give it to me.
She's one of the new starters.
Which is strange that she's a
Chikorita,
new starter.
Totodile, and Pignite.
Pignite. What happened to Cyndaquil?
Well, it's just weird. Like, this is one celebrating all generations, and they picked two from the same generation. I mean, I love them. Gen 2 is like some of my favorites.
Cyndaquil.
It's just like, yeah. But anyway. Yeah. I'm still buying it.
You're still buying it. Jeez. Yeah, I would love to. Actually, no, I've shown you my Pokemon cards that I've had. I had the special Mew one that came out with the movie.
I feel like either me or one of my siblings had them. Someone found a whole thing of Pokemon booster packs, original, at Goodwill for like $20.
Wow.
Unopened.
Damn.
And they were selling it like, like they have the behind the glass special section. They were like, these are $20, so we got to put them behind the glass. The guy, there was a Charizard in there. The Charizard was like worth $70,000.
Really?
Isn't that crazy?
Damn. I did some
Charizard.
pretty weird shit for Pokemon cards growing up.
I feel like I wouldn't sell my Charizard if I had it though.
Yeah.
Even now.
I kissed a girl behind a rock to get her Pokemon card.
Oh,
I was in second grade.
I love that. That's the only reason to ever kiss a girl.
I was just like, all right, come here. I was kind of a ladies' man in elementary school. Yeah, so I kissed a lot of girls.
Oh my!
Behind rocks.
I've kissed 2 girls in my life.
Oh,
maybe 3. No, 2.
Yeah.
The second one didn't know I was gay. Sorry, girl. Sorry, Gemma.
That's often how it goes. I mean, I don't see any other reason why you would kiss a girl if you're gay.
Just for the experience.
Just for fun. I mean, I touched my best friend's tits once.
Oh my
God.
High school. Can we say that on air?
Yeah, tits. I didn't cup it. I just kind of went me.
Oh, this is rated TV mature. No, TV mature.
And there's speaking of titties, let's talk about Survivor.
Yes, we are diving into Survivor season 48.
Yes, 48.
Yeah, we're excited to cover a reality show. It'll be our first time.
Yeah,
covering a reality show like from start to finish. It just premiered a couple days ago. And we watched it last night.
Yeah.
I am Ricky Baker.
Up. Yeah, that's gonna be a challenge for us. We're gonna keep up and do this every week.
Yes,
we got this.
Yeah, we got this.
Yes, we will crush it.
So first, we're gonna start off by kind of explaining how the game works a little bit for people who may not be super familiar with Survivor, because there are a lot of rules and they're ever changing, and there's always new stuff coming in. But we're gonna cover like the most recent rules and like advantages and stuff that have been happening over the last few seasons. And then as new stuff pops up this season, we'll explain it as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still learning.
Yeah,
But-
which will be great because then you can ask some questions.
Yeah.
So here's the cast right here.
Yeah. So, but in that though, if
yeah.
you're not a huge Survivor fan or have never watched the show before, trust me, like I'm learning this all too. So stick around. You,
So we are just like yo.
just like you, ordinary people. Mhm.
And if you haven't been watching Survivor since the inception, what the bleep are you even doing?
Yes. I'm Topher Rommel at the House of Rommel, the namesake, my Christian name.
And I'm Richard Baker.
Yes, Richard Baker, my fiance.
Fiance.
Mm-hmm.
And this podcast is premiering on our new channel.
Yeah, well, we're still workshopping that. We may have new channels. So, yeah.
This
Yeah.
might be streaming on anywhere where you catch podcasts.
Yeah, buddy.
So are you ready to get into it?
Yeah, I am ready to
Okay.
get into it.
So here's our big full out shot of the whole cast for this season. And I have little Jeff Probst up there, the host since season 1.
yeah,
He's just floating up there like Jesus.
he loves the show,
He's obsessed. I mean,
Obsessed.
he's the reason the show's so good.
and he's relatively handsome.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, if
He's
you don't
definitely
have a
gets his
crush on Jeff
Botox.
Probst, I don't know who you are.
He definitely dips in the Botox.
Fun fact, I don't think they're still together, but for a few years he dated Julie Berry from one of the seasons, who is from Maine.
Julie Berry.
I think it was Berry.
Oh, and she was a contestant on the show.
Yes.
Weird.
And she was from Maine.
Oh well,
We
good
haven't
for
had
her.
many people from Maine. There was one guy who won.
Wow, from
Bob.
Maine. Drag queen.
Bob is Bob, and he like runs a little yurt, Experience.
Cute.
like not
That's
too far from
cute.
here,
Yeah,
like an hour or something.
you know what? Watching the show, I've seen 1.5 seasons. This is my second, but there seems like there's more people than that.
Sometimes there's 18.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's 18 this time. Sometimes there's 20.
Yep.
But it's only been 18 since you've been watching.
Okay.
They used to be, when they started, it was 16.
Well, sometimes like they fade. Some people who they fade to the background. I'm like, who the hell is that guy?
Yeah. Oh my God, there was one. My mom and me laugh about this like every season of Survivor. This was years ago, but the person got voted off and his name was Eduardo, and we were like,
Who? Eduardo?
and we were like, we didn't even know he was there.
It ends up like they turn the camera on. He's the guy like in production. He's like the camera guy. He's like, huh?
I got voted out.
Yeah, you're fired. You can leave.
It was so funny though. So now when we get further into the season and we're like, Eduardo, like if we don't recognize the person, we're like, who is that? That's got no screen time. It's
That's
so funny.
funny.
Yeah, it's cute.
Yeah.
Are you ready to get into? Let's get into the like rules of Survivor a little bit.
All right.
So, maybe not the rules, but like the big things to know.
yeah.
So, we'll start with tribes. Usually, there's 3 now.
Mm-hmm.
When we started Survivor, it was just 2. And the tribes all go to different beaches, so they can't like talk to each other.
All on the same island.
I believe so.
Okay.
They don't like show you a map of where all the beaches are. I assume they're not too far apart, because if they were too far apart, production would be harder.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure they're not too far apart. And now they always go to Fiji, so everything's pretty much always set up.
Yeah.
You know, they have got like a little compound.
Hmm.
So this season we do have 3 tribes. We have Siva, Lagi, and Vula.
I'm not going to remember these names.
That's fine.
Yeah,
And we'll get more into who's on what tribe in a little bit.
Yeah.
So at first, the tribes are voting within their own tribes to vote people off.
Mm-hmm.
So like, let's say the Siva tribe, they lose, they're going to vote someone off.
Yes.
And that keeps happening for a while.
For the main challenges.
For them, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
One person leaves an episode.
Yep.
So there's an immunity challenge each episode. And for the one tribe that doesn't win, because first and second usually win,
Mm-hmm.
the other tribe has to vote someone out.
Yes.
And that goes on for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we get down usually to around 10 to 12 people,
Yep.
as you can see in the little picture, I've red X's on random people's faces. we go to a merge. So that's when everyone comes together in one group.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. So we go from tribes to merge. And this hasn't happened as much recently, but they used to like switch up the tribes a lot.
Yeah.
Like sometimes they would go to challenge and Jeff would be like, drop your buffs, we're switching tribes.
Interesting.
And it just randomly go to new tribes.
Well, maybe it's like there's not enough chemistry or something, and like for editing and production, they're
I
like,
always
you know what, we
wonder
gotta
if
mix it
it's
up.
pre like determined or if it's like, we gotta do it. This is boring.
Oh no, there's got to be a
Or
psychologist.
like
some
sometimes
sort of,
one tribe just loses. And I'm like, I think they're going to switch up the tribes. And then they do.
yeah.
There was one season, poor Stephanie. Their tribe lost so many times. And this was back when there was only 2 tribes. There was 8 people on her tribe. They lost like almost every single time in a row. She was the last one on her tribe before the merge.
Oh my god, that's funny.
I don't remember.
Was she a strong?
I loved her. She was great. She came back for a couple other seasons. But I can't remember,
my
but
God.
because it was 2 people and they had to go to tribal council. I think they ended up having to make fire like early on or something. I
Damn.
can't remember exactly.
I would
how
have
they
loved
did
to see a
but-
clip of that. Just 2 people at tribal council,
Yeah, we'll have to look it up. It's really
and the rest of the tribes
interesting.
there. That's
so yeah, we get into the merge,
Mhm.
and then so these are like the big spots of the show. We start with tribes. Everyone's trying to get to the merge, and then the people on the merge really want to make the jury. I don't have that up there, but if you make it to the jury, you get to vote for the person who wins in the end.
Okay, so you only see people that made it to the merge, as far as the council.
Right.
For the judge.
Usually they have. I
the
think
jury.
once they had one person before the merge get on the jury.
Oh, okay.
Can't remember exactly.
Hmm.
But the jury number is always different, I feel like. So even if you make it to the merge, you might not make it to the jury.
Gotcha.
But then the next like big thing is the final 5,
Yeah.
because that's usually the final episode is the final 5.
Yes. Yep.
Yep. And then they get down to the final 3 usually
Mhm.
for the final tribal council, and then the jury picks between those 3 people after they like plead their case to them.
Nice.
And something that I hope that they bring back, because they're having us vote for what we want to see in season 50.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping they bring back only 2 people in the final jury, because there's always that one person who just gets no votes and you feel terrible for them. Like we don't need a final 3. We need a final 2. It's always like one person gets all the votes. So
Who didn't get votes last time? Was it Sue?
yeah.
I think it was Sue. Yeah.
Yeah,
Even though
because
she
Sam
was,
got 1 and then Rachel got all the others.
Yeah.
So I just hope they do bring it back down to 2.
Because Sue's little trump card was that she's older, and she convinced everyone she was younger. And then
she did a great job at it too.
But that was like that was all that there was to her final speech. Like closing arguments. It was like,
I'm younger. I'm older than you thought. I should win.
I think she thought it was going to be a bigger bombshell than it actually was.
Yeah.
So, anyways, that's last season.
So some of the other stuff we have going on. So there's alliances that are ever changing.
Yeah, let me just say, this show is not about actual surviving out in the wilderness.
It used to be a lot more than it is now.
It is just about surviving the drama and making like the alliances the biggest part of the show. It's probably even bigger than the challenges themselves. They spent a lot of time on it.
The alliances like were born in Survivor. We've watched a lot of different reality shows where there's different kinds of alliances and teaming up.
Oh yeah,
that all started with Survivor,
Mm-hmm.
the alliance stuff.
Burlesque talks.
They do have to do a little bit of survival because they are out there in the elements. Like they like are freezing at night sometimes, and they don't have any food.
Yeah, I mean, I would say
so
the biggest
they
part.
do some survival
You're
stuff. But
basically fasting. That's all they're doing.
Yeah,
fasting.
they're just on a fasting diet.
But they actually do get some food, so it's not like they're fine.
So back to Atlantis. So usually we have some people on day 1 who like they get to the beach and they're like, oh my god, let's be in an alliance.
So early.
It very rarely makes it very far.
No. And sometimes it's just like, I like her. She's going to be on my alliance only because I don't know. She said my hair looked nice or something.
Until someone comes with a better deal.
Yeah.
So the alliances, they change throughout the whole game, and people backstab each other. It's great.
Sometimes it's so petty.
The next thing we'll talk about is advantages, and we're going to go more into those on the next slide. So I won't spend too much time on it right now, but there's different advantages in the game. Like you can find a hidden immunity idol to be safe at Tribal Council. You can find steal a vote, and you can like win advantages at challenges sometimes.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of cool little stuff going on. In the beginning, there wasn't that kind of stuff at all.
Oh, really? In the
So
early
that's
seasons?
like been ever evolving.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Kind of like hidden things. Well, it gives them something to do out in the woods other than just talk.
Right. Other than drama. And it actually creates drama because they're like, oh, I think that person's looking. We got to go babysit them. You know?
Yeah. Follow them around like Rome did.
And then in these newer seasons, like past 40, they go on these things called journeys. Like we saw two people in the new episode go on like a journey together, kind of. It wasn't as a journey like usual, but we'll talk about that in a bit. But so usually it's one person from each tribe, and then they go and they get to like talk, and then like get to know each other a little bit, and then they have to do a challenge to try to like win an advantage.
Yes. Yep.
And the people who don't win usually lose their vote for the next tribal council, which can be real bad.
Yeah. Interesting.
And then we have reward challenges and immunity challenges. They're pretty much exactly what they say. Every episode there will be an immunity challenge, but sometimes the reward challenge is mixed in with immunity. Like they'll win a reward and immunity.
Yeah.
It's more prevalent now, I guess, really in the individual part of the game is the like just reward challenges. But every episode used to always have a reward and always have an immunity challenge. Did you see when like cars in the reward challenges? They don't do that anymore.
Really? Cars. Wow. I mean, usually they have like a sponsor. It's like Hyundai or whatever.
Remember the Aztec, the car?
Oh my God. Yes.
Yeah. I think Colby in season 2 won an Aztec, and him and
I have to look that up.
I can't remember.
Later.
It might have been Elizabeth. I'm trying to remember. I've watched that season a million times, but they like camped out in it for the night or something. It was funny.
But they don't always win food in these award challenges. Like this episode, they got some rusty tools. Oh, thank goodness!
And a tetanus shot.
Yeah, a tetanus shot. And there's only one of them.
I would be so disappointed if he's like, "You want to know what you're playing for?" And they're like, "Yeah." And he's like, "An axe," and they're like, "Oh, good.
Oh, thank goodness.
Now we can hunt boars.
Can I eat it?"
And then we have immunity challenge. So right now where there's 3 tribes, 2 of them usually will win immunity. Every once in a while, only one does, and then both tribes have to go vote someone out.
Oh, interesting.
But when it gets down to individual, usually it's just one person who wins immunity, but sometimes they change it up, like one male, one female.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool.
And then we have this thing called the shot in the dark. I almost put it under advantages, but it's not, because you give up your vote if you think you're going to get voted off, and you have a 1 in 6 shot of being safe and winning immunity.
I think it's stupid. I think they need to rethink the shot in the dark thing, because it doesn't. Has anyone actually used it?
At least twice. It has actually saved the person.
48 seasons.
Well, the shot in the dark is very new.
Oh, okay.
Like since season 41, I think.
I think it needs to be maybe just a little more, like, probability needs to go up a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know how they decided 1 in 6. Well, maybe because there's 6 people in the tribe. But then when it gets to the merge, it's still 1 in 6. So I don't know. Oh, because it's a dice.
Oh, it's a dice.
Yeah, they roll a dice. Or
I thought I saw her just like.
Or they pick a scroll.
I feel like she put her hand in the bag and picked out a scroll.
They pick a scroll. So, but maybe it's like, because a dice has 6 sides, that's why it's probably 1 in 6. They put like 6 scrolls in. I don't know. I'll have to look that up.
Yeah.
I'll have to watch a video.
Yeah. I just feel like that could be reworked. But it's fine.
And then the big thing in the show is Tribal Council, where everyone just kind of spills their guts on how they're feeling.
Yeah.
We sometimes get some drama where everybody gets up and goes and talks to each other. That's something within like the last 10 seasons, I'd say, has happened before. That would never have been a thing.
You know what, though? In this episode with the shot in the dark, I do not blame her for wanting to pick it. Because, I mean, it was very obvious that she was going home.
Yeah.
So But at the same time, it kind of has like this layer of, like, pathetic. I don't know. It's I know it's like,
Pathetic.
It's like, I don't know. It's like
no one likes me. I'm going to use my shot in
it's
the
like
dark.
admitting, you're going to this, I don't know, state for like food stamps or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just like,
wow. You heard it here first, folks. Someone is a Trump supporter.
I've had food stamps before, so that's not me. But I'm just saying, like, a weird stigma to it. I don't know. It's a weird feeling I get. Poor Stephanie. I loved her.
Well, weren't going to talk about that until we actually got to the end.
I'm sorry.
But there we go. So the show's over. Thank you for ruining it.
If you're watching this, you know who went home. I'm looking at you in the back.
You ruined the timeline. Okay. So anyway, getting back to Tribal Council. The way it works is everyone comes in and then they have like a little chat with Jeff. He kind of like goes through, like he like pokes at him to get him to talk. And then everyone will get up and go vote. And then Jeff goes to get the votes. And before he reads them, he'll ask if anybody has an advantage they want to use.
I see.
Like a hidden immunity idol, the shot in the dark. Anything like that. So, that can cause a lot of drama too, because someone could have a hidden immunity idol and use it. Now they're immune, but they got all the votes. And then the person with the second most votes goes home. Yeah,
there's a fair amount of people, I gather, that get the idol and don't use it.
So many people have gotten voted out and not used their hidden immunity idol.
Because you have to use it before you're voted out.
Yes.
So it's just like a gamble. Like, do you use it now or do you save it for later? But a lot of them just hold on to it. I'm like, if there's even a suspicion that you're going home, I would use it.
I would use it. I mean, maybe it would be tempting while you're out there not to do this, but I would use it at the first Tribal Council I went to, whether I thought I was getting voted out or not. I'm not going home with that in my pocket. I'll use it and then go find it again the next day. Like, I'll take that chance more than I'll take a chance of getting voted out that night.
Yeah.
Because at least, you have 3 more days or 2 to 3 days.
I guess,
I would use it.
If people generally like you, and I feel like when they have like these alliances and then they're whispering to each other, I feel like you could probably sense if you're in danger. Maybe not. I mean, I'm a very like hyper aware person, so for me, I think I would figure it out.
A lot of people think that they're great and safe, and then get voted out. So
yeah, that's true. Poor Saul. Anyways, okay.
All right.
Cool.
Next slide.
I'm
going to talk about these advantages a little bit.
Oh, so I didn't look at these slides ahead of time.
So that is, you should have studied up. So I'm just going to quickly kind of go over these because they're pretty self-explanatory, but it all kind of, a lot of it you get now from this thing called the Beware advantage. You'll find it and it'll say right there, it says, if you take it, it's yours and you must do what it says. Otherwise leave it. So you open this up and it's like, you have to do this task or here's some clues to finding an advantage. And if you do not get to vote until you find it. So it could be any of these things, really. It could be an extra vote where you just get an extra vote. So say there's 6 of you and you go vote and you use your extra vote. Now there's 7 votes.
Okay.
So if you think that could help your alliance get the person out you wanted. Then we have the hidden immunity idol, where you use that after everyone goes to vote, and Jeff will ask if they want to use it, and then that person can use it for themselves or another person. Okay. And that person cannot be voted out that night. And then we have a steal a vote, where you just get to take someone else's vote. That's one of the worst ones. I would hate that if someone was like, Ricky, I'm taking your vote.
Well, I mean, if someone has like a grudge against you, I suppose you could just be like, I'm blocking you.
Yeah, and then you get to take their vote.
Yeah.
So then you can vote twice for them.
But also puts a target on your back though next time.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I mean, any one of these advantages puts a target on your back because people know you're smart.
But you got to use it when you can.
Yeah.
Especially at the end.
Yeah, and most of these you can use up until the final 6. So if you do save it, you could, possibly better your game later on. One of my favorite things people do is the fake hidden immunity idol, where they'll make one and convince other people they have one.
Operation
so that people
Italy.
Won't vote them. Yeah, it's so good. But my favorite thing about them is when someone uses one because they either find it or someone's given it to them. to use, and then they walk up and they're like, I'm using this hidden immunity idol, and Jeff's like, this is not a hidden immunity idol, and he throws it in the fire, and they're like,
oh my god, it was
so
fake
funny.
the whole time.
It's so awful.
Yeah.
And then the last thing we have, which isn't super common, but it usually happens at least once a season, usually down when we're like in individual challenges, which is a challenge advantage. It's usually the final advantage that is given out, and like all the survivors have to run off and try to do whatever it is to get it. And then it pretty much, if you, let's say that little maze that's on there, you have to get 3 balls to the end of the maze. Maybe you only have to get 2 balls to the end of the maze. Or maybe it's like not as wobbly as everybody else's puzzle or something like that.
Right.
It's like a little advantage.
Makes it a little easier. It's a
help
handicap.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird how they call it a handicap, because like that's like, it's almost like the opposite of handicap.
I know.
Yeah.
It's handicapable.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
All right.
All right.
We're
So
getting into the tribes.
Yeah. So let's talk about these wonderful people. All right. Let's just talk from the top.
Well, this is just kind of the opening slide. So this is the Siva tribe.
Oh, okay.
And they're obviously the orange tribe. And then we have all of them on the next page.
Oh, okay.
Up and close.
Nice.
Okay, so these little stars, the yellow stars are survivors I chose for our little fantasy game. And the pink ones are ones you chose.
Okay.
And
natural.
I didn't think, but my parents watched Survivor with us, and they're also doing the fantasy thing with us, kind of last minute.
Yes. Shout out
next week we'll have their color stars on there for who they picked, and we'll have their points at the end.
Okay. All right. Shout out to Ricky's parental units.
Yes.
As I used to call them in high school.
You used to call my parents parental units in high school?
No. Parents in general. All right. Do you want to go?
What? No.
Okay.
No, this is where we're going to talk about them.
Oh, okay. All right. Good.
So I guess I should put the notes in the order that we had.
That's okay. We can bounce. Let's start with David.
Yeah, let's start with David. He's very an interesting man. He is a stunt performer.
He is a stunt performer, and he's quite handsome.
He is, and muscular.
And muscular, and he knows that he is.
Yes.
Like, he knows that he's hot shit.
But he also was talking about how he's a nerd, which I like. But so he might be overcompensating.
I feel like he's gay baiting with that one. Like geek.
He can bait me all he wants.
Well, not like gay baiting, but like nerd baiting, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, kind of like some girls would do that. They have they put on oversized black glasses, and they're like, I'm a nerd. I like playing video games. And it's like, okay, girl, calm down.
Sure you do.
Sure.
But yeah, he's pretty full of himself. He said one thing, like in one of the first interviews he did, and he's like, people are going to either see me as a hero or a villain, and I guess they're going to find out which one I am. And I'm like, that's weird.
He's weird. He gives me like strong alpha male vibes, which is I hate that title, but
yeah. Yeah, well, I don't know. I don't get that vibe from him. I just think he's gonna not be like that the whole time. I think he's acting for the camera. I already did.
I would not sleep with him. His ego is way too big, and I feel like he would put me as like a notch on his belt, and I don't like that.
Oh,
no one treats me like that. Ever.
You're like 7 notches on my belt by now. Wait, 7? I don't know where that came from. Probably like 700.
He refers to himself as a Captain America. Yeah.
You can play him. He's actually my age. Well, he's a half year older than me.
Yeah, it just goes to show his ego.
He looks old. He looks older. Not like he doesn't look old. He just looks more mature than 38, I guess.
Yeah.
I would have put him at like 45 from this picture. But like not in person.
He's not going to wear a shirt very often. I can tell you that.
He is not.
And I know what he's doing. He thinks that he's going to be good for television, but it's not going to be a good cut. It's going to be a bad edit.
Blame it on the edit.
Yeah, it's yeah. He thinks he's building some sort of like influencer career,
Probably.
by being on camera. And it's like, it's not going to work out that way, buddy.
It might. I'll have to see how many followers he has on Instagram.
Well, he can have a ton of followers, but it's either good or bad. Like
Yeah.
like love hate kind of thing. So
I wonder who he's stunt doubled for. Captain America.
I bet he does like some, maybe like Wolverine. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe like some sort of mob boss movie. He's got kind of like
The
Italian,
mob boss.
He's kind of got like an Italian face, you know. Like I can see it. Anyways, enough about that ego.
Yes. Charity.
Charity.
I have no notes for Charity. She didn't say anything. The only thing that happened about Charity was Camilla's throwing her under the bus.
I put down for Charity is that there needs to be a naming convention for naming babies. What, Charity is what you named her?
Shout out to all the charities out there.
Was it Charity? Well, this is actually bad. Never mind. I'm not going to say it. I'm going to say it. I'm going to bleep it out. What was her birth, considered charity from her parents? They didn't do it an abortion?
You're welcome.
Well, I'm cutting that out, but yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it. She looks like a Valley girl. I like that,
That's why I picked her.
but I hate her name.
Yeah,
and she really didn't do much.
She's definitely not going to be on my fantasy list next week.
No, not at all.
Mitch. Love Mitch's energy and attitude.
Is he the one with the lisp?
Yes.
Yep.
Or speech
stutter.
impediment.
Yep.
Yeah.
Speech impediment. Yep.
He's super sweet.
Super sweet.
And I loved his callback to the girl on the Amazon who was the first deaf contestant. I don't know. I don't remember her name. I meant to look it up. But I really liked her. And I just thought that was cool that he like called back to like seeing someone like him. And like he's been dreaming of being on the show just like her the whole time. That touched my soul.
Aww.
I loved it. He can see like seeing yourself on TV, and the inclusivity is so important for so many people.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. They had someone that was deaf on 90 Day Fiance. And it was cool, like when they first introduced him and he's saying he was deaf, they cut all the sound out of a clip of him walking throughout the city. They had like the cars honking and people walking around and chatter, and then they just like completely muted everything, and he's just like navigating the world and how like silent it was.
That's so
it was
cool.
super powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But anyways,
That's so smart.
I thought it was cool that
The cinematography.
someone
top
deaf
notch,
or
top
with a
notch.
speech impediment. It'll be interesting when he goes to tribal council and he's talking. We'll see how much of a struggle it is. I don't know. Like sometimes people's speech impediments or whatever
Get worse and stressful in situations.
Yeah, anxiety. So hopefully they give them the time to talk.
Yeah. People don't cut them off.
Mm-hmm. Although the episode's an hour and a half, so it's like maybe cut it short.
All right, Camilla.
The
The only note I have for her is that she threw Charity under the bus for no reason. Charity did nothing, and Camilla's like, I'm just trying to put a target on someone else. So I actually love that. Like, I like someone who's just like, I'm just gonna like start stuff.
They're the second most interesting team. I would put them second. I only had two things on her. She loves the movie Holes and The Departed.
She loves holes.
She loves holes. Oh, so many holes.
I've never seen The Departed.
It's such a good movie with Leonardo DiCaprio and Jack Nicholson.
Do they depart on a flight?
Oh, it's huge. It's good. It's good. Well, we're watching it. That's on my list.
All right, Kyle. Oh, Kyle. He went to the battle for supplies.
He did. Didn't do well.
He didn't because his strategy was to just go crazy. And like he was just like whipping through things while the other person was being more methodical.
Yeah.
But then he ended up in the lead, and then he smashed the vase by accident, and so he got disqualified. Because you had to fill up the water to get the scroll out, I think. And yeah, that's what it was. And when he was filling it up, he smashed it with the metal pot they had to fill it up with.
Oh yes,
and then,
yes.
And we were like, oh, what like what a meathead. Like, oh, it sucks. And then he's like, I'm gonna help the other guy. And then we're like,
Which
oh my
was
god, we love him.
Really sweet. So like imagine they both have these glass jars they have to fill with water. And they're bringing like this huge like heavy metal pot over, and they're filling it, trying to eventually get this key to come to the surface of the jug. And he smashes his, So he just like, I'm gonna go over and just kind of help him out. And it was beautiful.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
I really loved it.
I don't like him. I mean, not that
like him
I don't
now.
hate him, but he's definitely not one of my favorites. I have no notes on him except that there seems to be like a bond between Kyle and Camilla. So.
Yeah, it's funny because I have marks on every other one for who they're already starting alliances with, and I didn't do that for Siva at all. So I don't think they showed that much on Siva.
Yeah. But again, not the strongest. And then
Chrissy.
we have Soccer Mom in the
only
house.
note I have for her is annoying.
Yeah, she's uncool Sue, I wrote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's just like one of those people who when they talk, you're like, I'm walking away as soon as possible because I can't stand your voice. No offense.
Yeah, I just feel like she would try to mother me. She probably tries to mother everyone.
She might grow on me, but for now, annoying.
She's got a gray head of hair. It looks nice.
She does.
Yeah.
She does. And she seems to be very strong in challenges. So she has the potential to win me over.
Yeah, and she had good things to say about Kyle when he came back from losing the challenge. Like, she's very supportive and like, hey, like, it's fine. Yeah. Like, we would wish you had won, but it's,
we wish you had won and we're really disappointed, but
we need you to sit in the corner and think about your actions.
Okay.
All right, let's
go to Logi. So here's an overview of the Logi tribe. They are purple and they are beautiful.
Yes.
And I really love this tribe.
I love this tribe.
I'm super excited to talk about them.
Nice.
Let's move into their close-ups.
All right.
There we are. Let's start with Shaheen.
Yeah, I like him. He kind of fell into the background with him. I'm very curious if he's a queen.
He made that comment where he was like, because Thomas was like talking, he's like, I didn't expect to be in an alliance with all guys. And Shaheen was like, yeah, right, me neither. Because, I just didn't know. I'm like,
I know. I'm like, I'm picturing this fan fiction between him and Thomas.
Well, I'm like, you know what? The first thing that popped in my head is maybe he's closeted to like his family.
Maybe.
And like when he's around friends that he really meshes with, his personality really comes out, and maybe he like caught himself on camera. We'll see.
Maybe. Well, yeah, we'll see. I can also look it up.
I hope he just like was like being a weirdo or something.
Well, he could be gay baiting, or maybe he's just like a very open heterosexual.
Yeah,
which is beautiful.
I
love that.
I love my straight boys.
Yeah.
I have a really good group of friends, just straight guys, and they're just like awesome.
Yeah.
If you're watching,
I had my best friend's ex-boyfriend. He would make comments all the time to me, and it was just like I loved it because he was teasing me, and I'll get all like blushy and stuff. But he'd be like, "Come over here, Topher, sit on my lap,"
and you're like,
"You want to give me a kiss?" And I'm just like, "Yeah." And then they would wrestle with me, but they would like take off their shirts, and they were like both military boys, and I'm like,
and you're like, oh no,
I'm having mixed feelings right now. I have to go.
I like Shaheen. That's funny. The only note I had down for him was he opened a coconut. But I guess I didn't need to write down the other stuff.
Yeah. Well, wait. Who broke up the couple?
Shaheen.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah.
I don't know if that's how you say his name, but it sounds cool. So
yeah. I like him a lot. He's got a little bit of hair too.
Yeah. Oh, and he is in the California Girl Alliance, which is all the men in this. Yeah, they're the California girls, and I love it. Thomas is like, "Oh my god, we're the California girls," and they're like, "Yes, we are."
We have to make another graphic for the California Girl Alliance.
Oh my god, yes.
Yeah. So
I hope they last.
Shaheen, is that how am I pronouncing?
I think it's Shaheen.
Shaheen. Okay. Yeah. And Thomas and Joe. I'm not a huge. Joe's fine.
I love we'll get Joe. To him, yeah. Okay. Bianca.
Strong interest in Thomas. I guess they're besties now.
They have a day one alliance. Thomas said that she's his number one, but also then he's like all about the California Girl Alliance. So
yeah,
they're trying to decide if they want to bring Bianca or Ava with them. But I mean, they can bring both of them for now. They don't have to decide. They can just get rid of Star.
Yeah, I think they should keep it just the three of them.
Well, yeah, that'll be the tight three.
It'll be hard for Thomas to get rid of to leave Bianca, but
maybe.
yeah, Bianca. I feel like I know that girl.
I have nothing to say about her. She's annoying. She's not annoying. She's just like bleh.
All I had was besties.
Besties.
For Thomas. That's it. Yeah.
All right, Joe. I have a lot about Joe. First of all, I think he's going to be really great in the physical challenges because he just smashed that tiki head in the challenge like it was nobody's business. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And he's very emotional. He's very like, I don't know, caring and empath. Mm-hmm. He had like a little talk with Ava.
Yes.
And she
Super
is
awesome.
We'll get to her, but
we can talk about them together because they had this big moment together.
Okay, yeah. So they go out for a walk together. I think it was initiated by Eva. Mm-hmm. And she mentioned that she's autistic. Mm-hmm. And that she struggles a little bit in social situations and like high stress. So she basically wanted one person to at least know where she's coming from, kind of as like a lifeline, someone that can like help her out when she's having these episodes of like fidgeting. I forgot some of the other ones.
The big thing was like her like, doing with her hands, and she needs to be squeezed.
Yes, squeezing
her hands.
Compression really helps. I live with a boy who had really bad Tourette's and ADHD, and for him it was just compression, just like her. So just like taking their hands and just pushing down their head a little bit was just enough sensory to kind of like ground them, like almost like a weighted blanket, something like that. So
it's good to know, to like look out for people around you that might be going through something, and maybe you could help them out. I don't know. And I mean, don't just touch someone, but can ask.
Well, I mean, she's giving him permission.
Well, I know. I mean, like just us out and about.
Oh yeah, this person's autistic. I need to touch him.
That person is having an issue
for no reason other than